name is Marina Brown, and I'm going to start us off today by telling a little story. When my friend was 11 years old, her and her little sister were outside playing in their front yard. Now, this is a common occurrence in a rural community for them to be playing outside in their front yard. And their mom was out there, but she decided to go get the mail. In the 2 minutes it took for her to walk up the driveway and get the mail, she was struck and killed by a drunk driver. One bad decision was all it took for these little girls to lose their mom for forever. One bad decision ruined the lives of so many people, including the driver of that car. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about drunk driving. What does driving while intoxicated mean? It means that you're operating a motorized vehicle, whether it's a car, water boat, ATV, lawnmower. Anything that needs a motor to go is considered a motorized vehicle. And you are driving these vehicles with a blood alcohol concentration over 0.08%. That means it is above the legal limit. And if you are under the age of 21, there's a zero tolerance policy. You cannot have any blood alcohol concentration to legally drive one of these vehicles. There are two different consequences to breaking these laws. That is a DUI, which stands for driving under the influence, and an OVI, which means operating a vehicle while impaired. The only thing a police officer needs to be able to pull you over in suspicion for OVI or DUI is that suspicion. If you're driving and you're swerving, they have means to pull you over to test and see if you are operating a vehicle while inebriated. According to the DUI database, some of the consequences for driving while under the influence are as follows. Restricted driving privileges. This means they tell you when and where you can operate a vehicle, and sometimes you even have to blow into a breathalyzer to make your car start. 2, you'll be put on probation. 3, you have to go to rehabilitation for alcohol or drug abuse. And 4, jail time. For first-time offenders who blow a BAC between 0.08% and 0.15% will most likely end up with a misdemeanor. And this means you'll only serve up to 6 months in jail. For repeat offenders, people who cause serious bodily harm, injuries, or fatality due to their drunk driving will most likely receive a felony charge. This means they will serve several years in jail. And according to the Alcohol Abuse Hotline, the DUI or OVI will remain on your record for 5 to 7 years, making it extremely hard to maintain a car insurance, which is legally needed to drive a vehicle. According to the National Highway Safety Administration, in 2019, 30 people died on average every single day. That's over 10,000 people last year who passed away due to drunk driving accidents. And 1/3 of all traffic accidents, fatalities, are involving drunk drivers. And out of that 10,000 I talked about, 211 of those were children. And 62% of those children were passengers to someone who was driving while intoxicated. Men are 5 times more likely to drink and drive than women. And 55% of the people caught drinking and driving are repeat offenders, meaning they've already received a DUI or an OVI. And 87% of drunk drivers are between the ages of 21 and 44. Preventative measures are in place thanks to our local government agencies and our local police force. These come in different forms, such as mass media campaigns, which are billboards and commercials promoting safe driving habits. Sobriety checkpoints. These are very important because it is where police officers are able to legally obtain and weed out the people who are driving while intoxicated. And then laws. I've already talked about these, but they're so important, I'm going to summarize them one more time. If you have a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08 or higher, and you're over the age of 21, you legally cannot operate a vehicle. And if you are under the age of 21, there's a zero tolerance policy, meaning you cannot drive a vehicle with a blood alcohol concentration at all. things you can do daily to prevent drinking and driving, it's going to start with yourself. If you know you're going out and you're going to participate in drinking and driving, plan ahead. Whether that's packing stuff to stay the night, or saving up money for an Uber, or asking a designated driver to take you home, just plan ahead. 2, if you see someone who's too intoxicated to drive, step in there and tell them no. Help them find a solution to prevent them from getting behind the wheel. If you have been drinking, it's as simple as not driving. Like I said, plan ahead and make sure you have different solutions to prevent yourself from getting behind the wheel. Our cell phones are readily available with applications such as Uber and Lyft, or your contact list where you can call a friend or family member. Anyone who is willing to help you stay safe. If you're hosting a party, make sure you plan ahead for extra sleeping bags and places for people to stay the night, or you ask designated drivers ahead of time to plan to take a little extra people home. Most importantly, be vigilant. It is up to us to help stop our friends and family members from performing these tasks that are so dangerous, to keep our roadways safe. This is an environment where we transport our families every day, and we want to make sure it's as safe as possible. Now, throughout the speech, I've discussed with you what driving under the influence is. I've told you a personal story of a friend who lost a family member dear to her heart thanks to a drunk driver. And I've told you about statistics that are unfortunately statistics of people who have died thanks to drinking and driving. And finally, I talked to you about some preventative measures. With all this information, it's up to you whether you drink or drive, but I hope you make the safe decision and keep our roadways as safe as possible. Thank you.